What's your sense of the group coming off Saturday night?
I think it was a positive vibe in here today. I think we see the opportunity ahead of us in this road trip, and just keep moving forward. I think like I keep preaching, results will take care of themselves, and we have a confident group in how we play, and just making sure we're playing to our game and just trust the process.
We heard Craig afterwards say, it's glass half full right now. What is the glass half full approach for you guys? What are the positives you're stressing?
I mean, I think it's, again, like I say every day, we're just trying to stay and play how we know, right? And sometimes we can get away from structure or different things, and what's important to us is sticking to that process. And I think Chief has outlined that for us very well, and it's just our job to keep carrying that out.
What was it like in the second period? Obviously, Craig said he wanted to save you a little bit by pulling you 16-1, I think, for the shots when you got pulled. What was that period moment in the game like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was a busy period. I think, stuff like that happens naturally. Like, sometimes you have, periods where the other team is taking it to you a bit. We have periods like that plenty, too. So, honestly, I was having fun battling out there. And, of course, anytime you get out of the net, I'm not very happy. But, I thought we still had a chance to come back, and I thought we were kind of getting some momentum a bit, and ended up not going our way.
No doubt you like that action and knowing that you responded to it as well. So do you feel as though your game is exactly where you want it to be, given that you have been busy and you've seen some personal results?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to continue doing what I do, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and I'm just sticking to that, and I think I'm confident where I'm at. I feel good physically, mentally, so I'm just going to keep trudging along.
What's it like in Montreal when you're not on the bench? When you get pulled over there, is that a weird dynamic?
Yeah, it's a little weird. Fans are giving it to you a little bit and stuff, and yeah, I mean, it's always weird when you're right next to the fans, because you go from being in the game to feel like you're a spectator, and so yeah, it's a bit of a weird transition. No, not really. Like, they're just as normal fans would be, right? They're right on top of you, they're loud and stuff like that, so, yeah.
How can a long road trip like this one coming up help shift the momentum, especially with how heavy the home schedule's been to start the year?
Yeah, I mean, I think just maybe a bit of a change of environment, and being on the road with the guys, I think, is always nice, and guys are obviously with their families when they're home and stuff, so spending a bit more time together, I think, is good, and hopefully help us come together, continue coming together a bit, and again, just changing the environment, changing kind of the situation a bit.
No doubt you just look at one at a time. So what is maybe the thought or maybe the mindset or overall big picture game plan for a date with Columbus, who played this group very well?
Yeah, I mean, from a personal standpoint, I try to focus on my job as much as I can, and I think I know some things right to expect from playing them just a couple days ago, but day to day my process doesn't really change. I have my routines, my process, and that stays the same, and I try to approach it the same way regardless if we were playing, and that's what I'm going to continue to do.
What stands out to you about Ben Kelly?
Yeah, I mean, he had a pretty solid game the other night, and shoots the puck well. He's a good player, so always a fun challenge.
John, we heard Greg at the end of practice, glass half full right now. What is the glass half full approach for you guys right now?
Well, there's a lot of hockey to be played, and just kind of got to stay with it, and it's a great opportunity on this road trip. So to do some good things, earn some results, and put ourselves in a good spot. So I think just looking forward to the challenge tomorrow. Obviously aware of the length of this trip and what it entails, but just staying focused on tomorrow and playing a good hockey game and doing everything we can to get a win.
What is your sense of the dressing room right now?
I think the last couple of days have been good for us, having a few days in between games here to just kind of, take a minute, reset a little bit and refocus and be excited about tomorrow, and like I mentioned, the trip that's ahead, and I think the opportunity that we have. So it's a lot of hockey, coming up on this trip, and then really up until Christmas, it's going to be fast and furious. And obviously, we know we got to be more consistent, and we got to execute a lot better at a higher level, and do a better job of putting ourselves in better spots to win hockey games, and doing a good job when we put ourselves there to close games out. So I think we're just excited about the opportunity to reset here and get back at it.
Wall doesn't look like a guy who missed a month or so. John, what have you thought of his game since he's been back?
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. So he takes such good care of himself. Extremely fit and really attention to detail in his approach and the work that he puts in on himself in a lot of areas, and certainly I think how he sees the game and prepares as he does. So he's been massive for us, and a few of the games here really given us a chance where we haven't really been able to sustain the momentum that we would like or grab the game back at times. So on us to do a better job, the way we need to play through 60 minutes, and also being able to withstand momentum and surges from the opponent and grabbing the game back.
Third time playing Columbus, what challenges do they project?
Tremendous amount of speed and ability to make plays off the rush. Obviously, a player like Werenski is almost like a fourth forward out there. His ability to cover ice and be up into play and be so involved. He's got great feet, so he's able to be so aggressive because his ability to recover. So, we really felt it when we were in there last time, and we did a much better job, when we played them here at home last week. So, obviously very aware of what they do well and the challenge to present, and very good hockey team. So, no doubt we got to be ready to be really well connected through all five guys on the ice, and trying to do a really good job defensively and certainly through the neutral zone, and then establish our game on our forecheck and how we want to, create offense and apply pressure.
Change the dynamic of your line when really is on the
it can be a little different. Just the plays for me to him, at least coming up the ice, aren't on my forehand to his forehand. It's backhand to backhand. So that's just a little subtlety that you're a little you understand just the differences between your forehand and backhand. But in general, I think we've played with each other long enough. We have a really good sense of how each other play, how we play off one another, and how we got to continue to push each other to be better and support one another. So, it's a little different, but certainly, especially for him, I got, my understanding when we chat and he's over there is just his ability to see the ice, the differences, the way he can see the ice and the way he's able to open up to the play and things like that, and just how he might attack things a certain way offensively, and then certainly in D zone along the walls and all that, how he collects pucks and we're trying to exit our zone and things like that. So just some of those nuances and those plays that contribute to how the game flows for your line and how you need to execute.
Okay, sorry, practice was a conversation with you at the Wall. What was that conversation like?
Oh, we're just talking about some of our details defensively. Things that we're working on. We're continuing to try to sharpen up, and just want to make sure that you understand as clearly as you can through our meetings and through video and all those sorts of things. So, just making sure we're ready to go as we work on things today.
Honestly, not really that scary. That happens quite a bit, honestly. Puck ramping off your stick, and this one just blew up. Like, my face just blew up right away. So I just want to make sure there's no fracture, which there's not. So, got lucky, I guess, on that one.
What's the mood around the team right now?
Good. It's great. We've got a couple days to reset here, and excited for our first real road trip of the year. I think it comes at a good time for us, and excited for to start it off tomorrow night.
Why do you think it's coming at a good time?
Just given where the first 20, however many games have gone, not where we want it to be. So, our road record hasn't been great either. So we, historically, since I've been here, we've been pretty solid on the road. So, like to get back to that this trip, and that's kind of why I'm saying it's a good time for it. And around the guys all the time, and you start winning some games, you start feeling good, you start getting a little momentum behind yourselves.
You've seen enough of Columbus so far this year. I guess you can probably speak to the challenges that they provide. What stands out for you?
Yeah, they got great depth up and down their lineup. Werenski's a great D-man on the back end that's all over the ice, and like I said, through their lineup, they got a mix of speed and skill, and they're a dangerous team off the rush. So thought we played them much better last game, obviously, than the first game, but looking to collect two points tomorrow night against them.
How about the way Joe Woll's gone about his business? I know you've talked about him, but
Yeah.
he continues to show that you wouldn't think he was ever missing games at any point.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. He's been a very calming presence, I guess, is what the best I can describe with him back there, and I think he's done a very, very good job and been good with the puck and talking to us D-men. So, I've been talking about him quite a bit, and that all speaks true.
Not the first time you've come back from a scary-looking injury. Just wondered, through your career, who's been an inspiration to you as far as a defenseman, or really anybody who's been able to take a licking but keep on ticking for them?
I don't know. I just kind of been a part of my DNA, frankly, to stick around, and I wish my face looked a little prettier every now and then. But, my kids are getting used to it, so no, it's just, I don't know. It's a tough sport, but I embrace that part of it, and oftentimes makes you play better. So
Kids have questions when you come home and you got a little.
they're having less and less over the years as they get older. Starting to get a little bit more used to it. My daughter asked me after this road trip if my face will look normal. I said, I think so. I hope so. Knock on wood. Hopefully there's not a new one on this trip.
We were talking to Simone yesterday, and he wasn't thrilled with where he's at. He feels like it's too passive. Like, how are you feeling about the player?
I don't know if I agree with him on there. He might be a little hard on himself, in my opinion. I think he's been playing real solid all year. There are a couple of games. I feel like that St. Louis game at home, I thought we were both skating real well, and having two left shots, it allows us to kind of skate forward a little bit more, and getting in technical terms of like surfing across the ice and replacing each other or whatever it may be to continue to have good gaps. And we're both better when we're skating, when we're physical, and the rest of our game kind of takes over after that part is initiated. So I would agree with him that we're both better when we're aggressive and skating, but I wouldn't be too hard on him. I think he's been real solid for us.
What have you seen from OEL as a player?
Another, just super steady, solid. He's got a great stick, and he plays real hard too. He's physical. That's when he's at his best too. I think the recipe's the same for all of us D-men, is when we're skating and we're engaged and we're physical, and we're stopping plays in the D zone and moving the puck up ice and getting up ice ourselves. The rest of our game kind of follows, and that's what the rest of the team needs from us on the back end too. No, me and Benny played a ton of minutes together, so. At the start, probably it was a bit of adjustment, just mainly playing left side the start of this year and last year. But you get back into a little bit of a rhythm. There's certainly some tougher spots that you can find yourself out there in your backhand, but for the most part, I've felt fairly comfortable.
Nyes, Matthews, and Roy all practiced today. Look good. They did finish practice, but still got to see about tomorrow. So that's where they're at. But it was good that they're out there and finished practice, went through all the drills, and so that's where they're at.
So that means maybe tomorrow?
Yeah, we got to see where they're at.
I'm sure of at least the maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but just got to see where they're at. See. I haven't talked to trainer, I haven't talked to those guys yet after practice, so that's something I got to do.
Why did you decide to have them practice together, just as a group?
Everybody?
No, just Matthews, guys, as a line, I guess, instead of maybe.
Well, just because they're out right now, right? So I put them on a line together. Okay. And I just wanted to see what it looked like.
Okay, always good. We heard you after practicing, glass half full.
Yeah.
Not glass half empty.
That's the way you got to look at things. Glass is half full. We got an opportunity to go in here tomorrow and get 2 points, and that's got to be our focus, and then we'll go from there to the next game.
What's your sense of the group?
Well, I thought it was good. It was positive. We had a real good meeting this morning and going over some stuff and what we got to be better at and where we will be better at. And I thought the vibe was good and the guys were good and good practice. It was good, hard practice.
Has it been too long since your last meeting with Columbus? What's the biggest challenge the Blue Jackets bring?
Well, I mean, if you look at, they got some good offense over there, obviously, and Fantilli has his way with us. Seems like every game we play him, he's a hell of a player. But they got some high-end young players that are good players, and I thought we played a pretty good, solid hockey game against them here the last time. Even in Columbus, other than the goals we gave them, that was self-inflicted. I thought we had some real good things going on against them. So, but they're a challenge, obviously, on the back end with Werenski, and they got their goalies playing well right now too. So it's going to be a tough game, like all of them.
Pardon me, you've got some good leaders and veterans in this room, but a couple of them mentioned what a calming presence Joe Woll has been. Have you noticed that and how beneficial?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. He's been solid, and it's been very good for our team getting him back in. You know, and then just his battle level, like he was so pissed off at me for pulling him the other night, but I like that. And, yeah, you know, he wanted to be in there and fight, and that's good.
Did he understand why?
Oh, yeah, for sure he did, but he wants to be in there and fight.
You don't have a ton of right shot forwards, but what intrigues
Really?
you? Yeah, I picked up on it. Even I figured it out. What intrigues you about Nylander on the left? What sort of does that?
Well, Willie was on the right today because I had Cowan on left, but Willie, often we talk about things and it gives him a different look on the other side. Same as on the power play sometimes coming down, you know, his offside downhill. Just he just likes to mix it up, you know. So I'm good with it if he wants to be on left or right, or depends on who his line mates are and what's going on. But you know, he can just. It's just a different look for him coming from the other side.
What have you made of Oliver Ekman-Larsson's game this year?
Well, it's pretty solid for us. I think he's done a lot of good things. I mean, he's logged a lot of ice compared to last year with the injuries, and but he's done a number of things for us. You know, he's playing his offside again, and you know, which we have to ask him to do because of the lineup and the injuries and things like that, and you know, power play and just a lot of 5-on-5 minutes. But I loved that game the other night in Montreal in the third period, how physical he was and hard he played.
Chief, you're going to take each game as it comes and focus on the one in front of you. I think we get that. But is there a message about the approach to this entire trip that you look at in terms of?
Yeah, for sure. We discussed that, and I know the team discussed it too. And you know, it is one game at a time because you always need to just focus on the game in hand and what you're doing. But this trip could put us in a real good spot, in my opinion, from where we're at right now. So that's the importance, and it's good that we're getting on the road and being together as a group. And you know, it's always a different feel when you're all together in hotel rooms and at the rink and hanging out together all the time, and you know, not dealing with family. And I know you still got to deal with them, but from afar. So that's always a good thing. I always found getting on the road and when you're in tough times helps the team.
You've seen McCabe for a couple of years, coached him now a couple of years. Just wondered, what's in his DNA, do you think, that allows him to come back from injuries?
You know, he's definitely has toughness, that's for sure. I mean, we all see that with him, and you know, it's tough when you get a puck in the face like that. And but fortunately, he's good and he's fine. And I see him out there. I thought he'd have a bubble on, but no bubble or anything. So he's got the toughness, and yeah, we're very fortunate to have him.
Simon wasn't thrilled with where he's at right now. Too passive, he said. But what's your sense of that pair, Simon and Jake? What do you want to see from them?
Yeah, no, there are, you know, right now we use him as a shutdown pair for a lot of the game. And one, Benny's got to be physical and he's got to be aggressive. That's where he disrupts the other team, right? It's just being a little bit more on his toes for me, and just being strong and hard with the puck. You know, he doesn't have to make great plays. He's got to make the easy play and make the right play. That's what I see.